I'm about to go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it. You know I'm about to get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it. Uncle Luke said, I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm gonna get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm gonna get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. It's so many ways out this bitch to get money. If you ain't talking money, that's the end of discussion. I ain't worried about them hoes. The way I kick it, I got goals. I got goals around my nigga and I stay polo down to the floor. Y'all niggas really some hoes wearing fake designer clothes, fake ice around they neck, talking about my jewelry game on froze. Man, that shit they ain't even cold. Man, they really be thinking they cool. Man, you look stupid and look dumb. I'm talking dumb diddy dum dum. I'm on fire, who cooking something? I'ma eat the beat, call me Cookie Monster. Eat all y'all niggas asses up, and then the leftovers get ate for lunch. Y'all niggas worrying about the wrong thing. These bars here from the chain gang. Got 2 guns on me, Jesse James. If I pop them off and let say the rain. Niggas say they looking for some better days. How the hell you looking for some better days when you still riding in the same lane with them same niggas that ain't getting paid? You ain't got no sense, you don't deserve change. You don't even got no money for some change. You need to go make some money for a change. Then you need to sit and think about a change. Why you sit and think about a change? I'ma go get smart and get some damn brain. They hop back on the track, damn train. Man had my stripes like a candy cane. I can hit the block with a whole thing. I'm a hustler, I can sell sky rain. Nigga, I can sell 5 flames. I can sell a roll to a top, man. I'm about to go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it. You know I'm about to get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it. Uncle Luke said, I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm gonna get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm gonna get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. Hey, where you going? I'm running to the money. I want the ones and the 5s and the 10s and the 20s and the 50s and the 100s. Boys, up to the money. The main ones laughing, joking, thinking shit funny. I'm laughing straight to the bank. Haha, now that shit funny. For the love of the money, shawty shaking ass on me. Ooh-wee, she just wanna get paid, okay. Chips right here, Frito-Lay. Shawty doing her damn thing. She got to keep her bills paid. Shake her booty like an earthquake. Shake it like it's your birthday. Pussy poppin', she's a pussy popper. Look at how she make it jump, jump like a grasshopper. For them dollars, I got a lot of damn ones in my pocket. I'ma throw, I'm about to make it rain on Lil' Shawty till she's so about to go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it. You know I'm about to get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it. Uncle Luke said, I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm gonna get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm gonna get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm up there, you not, you bottom, I'm top, you cool, I'm hot. These niggas, they hate, and shawty told me why. Cause he a ugly ass nigga, ugly ass nigga, ugly ass nigga, oh, ugly ass nigga. She said you ugly ass nigga, she said you broke ass nigga, you just a hating ass nigga, can't get no hoe ass nigga. Look at the watch, look at it, look at the chain. Look at the rank on the pinky. Look at the wrist. Don't it got Buzz Bunny carrots in it? Why is these niggas so lame? Holla my name. Nigga, I'm not with your bitch. Look at all this rap pouring on me. I ain't stunting your bitch. I'm about polo and shit. Look at the kicks. Don't you see the horse head in the shirt? Rap pouring tag in the shorts. I ball with my team on the court. Y'all on the sideline looking of course. Look at me ball out just like broke ass niggas do. Broke niggas ain't in. Broke niggas ain't it. Broke niggas ain't shit. Look, I'm fly. I'm bird. That's high. I'm plain. That's guy. I'm up there. You not. You bottom. I'm top. You cool. I'm hot. These niggas, they hate and shawty told me why. Cause he a ugly ass nigga. Ugly ass nigga. Ugly ass nigga. She said you ugly ass nigga. She said you broke ass nigga. You just a hating ass nigga. Can't get no hoe ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga, ugly ass nigga, no money, no cash, have a nigga. All my niggas on the block trying to get it. Best for life, earn these stripes, come and strip it. I'm a young nigga, counting, don't flip it. Cock it back and flip it. All my niggas get it. Crucial K gon' get them. Tell my niggas sip them. Hardest in the city, they ain't fucking with niggas stupid dog. Yeah, we got us one. Game over, we already fucking won. Big money, got a nigga cocky, so a nigga like me gotta keep a gun. Cause they overrated and these niggas hated. Most anticipated, got these bitches waiting. Cause the Rico skating on they fucking faces. All my niggas waiting, it's Rico. I'm fly, I'm bird, that's high. I'm plain, that's guy. I'm up there, you not. You bottom, I'm top. You cool, I'm hot. These niggas, they hate and shawty told me why. Cause he a ugly ass nigga. Ugly ass nigga. Ugly ass nigga. Oh, ugly ass nigga. She said you ugly ass nigga. She said you broke ass nigga. You just a hating ass nigga. Can't get no hoe ass nigga.
To the streets, we back in y'all area. Yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. Shout out to the chat, man. We got a good show lined up for y'all today. This is live number 2 for the day. I apologize to everybody that didn't get to catch today's live earlier. I was trying to set up this live, and I thought that I had 2 lives playing on the last one, and I accidentally erased it. But shout out to Lady Earz, because Lady Earz recorded earlier today's live, and so I'm gonna just upload it on Wabbit God Network after this live. So if you want to catch today's live, all you have to do is catch it on the Wabbit God Network. I'm gonna upload it on the Wabbit God Network. It was a pretty funny live. We had Bishop come up. I think Kevlo came up. In your comments with the truth. That brother came up. So it was a pretty funny live, man. And then we went over a story about Chad Ochocinco talking about getting a BBL for men. So, you know, it was a pretty good live. I was a little blowed at myself when I thought I erased it, but my woman recorded it for me, so shout out to her again. But anyway, man, I'm not going to hold y'all too long on, you know, the intros and everything. I just want to give people enough time to come in. I know this is not the drama live, so we ain't going to have a whole bunch of people, but we do have the most loyal people who come over here and enjoy these type of lives. This is a situation that I've been covering from day one, whether I was known in this sector or not. I've always been covering this subject because it's something that's from Brunswick. It's from my hometown. It's something that hit close to home. I didn't personally know Ahmaud, but I just know some of his family members. I hope that don't make anybody go outrageous or whatever, because I'm saying I knew some of his family members. Now, this is what Kevlo said. This is some of his family. So, you know, I will allow Kevlo to elaborate on it if he wants to, but I don't know. It looked like he got a live set up to start talking trash about me. And, you know, as we can see, there's better things to talk about. But, you know, people don't want to talk about that type of stuff. They want to engage in the bullshit all the time. And they can't sacrifice numbers every now and then just to talk about things that you care about. Me, I don't, like, I'm fully aware that if I talk about this over talking about, you know, we could go over one of Bishop videos. We could go over one of Kwame videos. We could go over one of Dildo D videos, Biz videos, Tarek videos. any of those people videos, and we know how it gets in here. We know everybody rushes in here. They want to see the drama. They want to see what Earz going to say. But right now, we want to talk about something serious. We want to talk about the injustice that goes on in America, not just Brunswick, Georgia. But this is going to be a prime example of, yeah, you can get the killers. You can get rid of the people that are the face of wrong, but they don't get rid of the people who are in the background, like the district attorneys. You get what I'm saying? Now, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about this Ahmaud Arbery situation. There has been a verdict and I know a lot of people like, well, Earz, the guys that killed Ahmaud Arbery, they already locked up. Yes, they are locked up. But see, everybody in America rallied around getting these guys locked up. Oh man, they won't lock these guys up. They won't lock these guys up. It's racist. Everybody came to Brunswick, Georgia to show support for Ahmaud Arbery to get these guys locked up. But hardly anybody shows support to try to get the person that was stopping them, who was protecting them from getting locked up. Ain't that amazing, y'all? There's no marches. There's no Black Lives Matter. There's no everybody standing up, all the videos and all that. Everybody was around for the, I ain't gonna say it's the circus, but everybody was around for the attention seeking when it was just, oh, let's lock them up. But when they got locked up and they got convicted, oh, we got justice. Let's move on to the next thing. But if people was putting the same amount of pressure as they was putting to get them locked up, to make sure the fourth defendant get locked up, because Jackie Johnson, she is the fourth defendant. Everybody let her off the hook, including the law. Now, I made a video about this way back when I first started YouTube, y'all. I didn't come over here just trying to, come over here and, just do stuff for Kwame and all that. I talked about things that was important to me. I do content about everything. Yeah, I dip over here and talk my shit and do all that stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm going to talk about what's important to me sometimes. And this was important to me way back then. These are, this is something that I brought to the light way back then. I probably got less than 100 views, probably less than 50 views for, making this video. Now, I want y'all to excuse my low volume that's on this video. I want y'all to excuse my amateur editing, but I think this video is a really, really good video that explains what happened with her situation. What's good, Perpetual Learner? Yeah, she went scot-free. She went scot-free, and now she can run for another office and continue to do the same thing she did, and not just the Ahmaud Arbery situation. There's 3 situations where somebody lost their life because of this woman's abuse of power. This woman has a lot of blood on her hands, y'all. Even Kev Lowe can tell you she was behind him catching his charge. I don't know why he's not covering this, because this woman was behind him going to federal prison. So it's like, you would think that if that was me and she was behind me going to federal prison, I would have been on this bitch ass every day. I would have been at that courthouse in support of that man's people. You know what I'm saying? Which Kev Lowe says that's his family member. I would have been down there in support of that. But without further ado, and shout out to the chat, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. I'm going to play this video that I created over 2 years ago, shedding light on what this woman was responsible for. And then we're going to play a couple of moments in the trial where you had police officers come up and say how she instructed them not to do anything. You're going to have a person come up. I think Ahmaud Arbery's mother testified. letting them know how much she couldn't get any information out of her, how she failed her as a victim, as the family of the victim, I'm sorry. We're going to hear a couple of moments from in the trial, and of course, we all know she ended up getting off scot-free, not because she did not commit the crime, but because of some technicalities. And the same lawyers that represented Young Thug was her lawyer. We was all cheering on those lawyers because they helped out a black man, you know, a so-called alleged gang member, somebody that was very proud of being in the gang. Probably many lives got lost in the name of that gang and all that stuff. And people was like, yeah, man, look at them helping out a black man, getting a black man off, you know, freeing a black man. And then they turn around, and I'm not saying nothing bad about them. You know, they're just doing their job. But then they turn around, and they'll let go, they'll get off a woman that was responsible for killing a innocent black man. Well, she didn't do the actual killing herself. Let me clear that up. But she was just as guilty. And you're going to say, Earz, if you're not familiar with, like, Earz, how was she just as guilty? Well, y'all get your popcorn, get your blunts, whatever it is you do when you want to, you know, enjoy some content. And y'all listen to the story that I broke down of her role of the Ahmaud Arbery killing. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. This is a video done by me, so I don't have to do the fair use. I don't have to stop and review it. But there might be a couple of times where I might stop it and, you know, give a little better insight. So I hope y'all enjoy this old video that I did. This is the old Earz to the Streets. This is before y'all shout out to Expound Podcast. This was before I was Earz to the Streets, y'all. Do y'all notice my title right here? I wasn't Earz to the Street yet. I was Wick Made 912. This was Expound News, Views, and Reaction. Expound Podcast. I wasn't even using the name Earz yet. I was still using my real name, Craig Hendricks. Today I'm going to do a reaction news video from Brunswick, Georgia, man. My hometown. Beautiful city, beautiful beaches, beautiful people, but the thing we do have a lot of is racism, and we have a lot of corruption going on. I'm talking about when it comes to these police killing, when it comes to corruption. And I know it's kind of low, y'all. I know the volume is kind of low, but y'all bear with it. Listen closely, and you should be able to hear everything. Corruption. You got this lady at the front and center of it, Jackie Johnson. Yeah, if you don't know who Jackie Johnson is the woman who tried to cover up for the McMichaels, who just got convicted of all the charges. Video footage that I'm about to show for copyright purposes, only for educational purposes. Well, as you can see, Jackie Johnson, she had connection to Gregory McMichael, which connected her to the other guys that were involved in this shooting. The first thing Gregory McMichael made sure to mention to the cop when they pulled up is that he worked for the DA office for 23 years. So he knows what they gotta do. They gotta make sure they don't take him to jail.
Who is the kid?
AHMAUD ARBERY. Now the focus is turning to the former district attorney who handled the investigation. Yeah, her name is Jackie Johnson. She's been voted out of office and indicted on charges of violating her oath as well as hindering law enforcement in this investigation. As Martin Savage reports, the three men convicted are not the only ones facing the possibility of prison.
Repeatedly denied any wrongdoing and defended her actions, including during a virtual debate when she was running for re-election.
I'm sorry that from the very beginning, a lie was told about how my office handled that very beginning. A lie was was told about how my office handled that case. That case is a terrible tragedy for our community, and it's a tragedy for the people. I'm sorry about how things happened. I'm sorry that a lie got started and I could not turn it back.
Voters didn't buy it. After 10 years in office, Johnson lost the election.
There was a lie that was being told, but what she's failing to say is she was the one that was telling the lie. She was the one that was protecting the officer. She protected her officer before. This guy wasn't even on the clock no more. She still was protecting him. That's what she does. She has other cases where she's protected her cops when they've been wrong. All her cops were wrong. Every last one of them, they came on the stand and told how wrong they was with no accountability. Nobody knows about it but her. She just get rid of it. But the world got to see that video. And when the world got to see that video, it put a microscope on what she had going on. How she was protecting these other cops, how she protecting this situation. And the shit hit the fan. The people stood up. The world stood up. We Robert Ahmaud.
The world stood up. The world did stand up. But they sat back down once they put those 3 guys in prison. Because when she was just in this trial, everybody sat back down. Everybody worrying about P. Diddy. Everybody worrying about Big Meech and all this other shit. They forgot about the justice and they forgot about what they started.
Now, the world got to watch as Kevin Goff defended Roddy Brown and see how much of an idiot Kevin Goff is. But believe it or not, this guy has been the chief public defender and been representing lower class people in our city for a long time. But watch what he has to say about
raised red flags long before the Arbery homicide. Jackie Johnson got international attention as the top prosecutor for the Ahmaud Arbery case, but she had been the district attorney in Southeast Georgia since 2010, when the governor of Georgia appointed her. During her 10 years in office, she was in charge of several high-profile cases, including some that are controversial. This cell phone video showing the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery caused outrage, coming out 2 months after Glynn County Police and then District Attorney Jackie Johnson decided to not charge the 3 men who chased him down. That ended up putting other cases she worked under the microscope. Another lawyer who questioned Johnson's legal practices was the district's former chief public defender, Kevin Goff, who says there were violations long before the Arbery case.
What about the thousands of other people who've been run through the criminal justice system and the tens of thousands across the state? What's being done to make sure that these kinds of problems don't happen again?
So are you saying that...
Now, y'all notice this guy is the same guy that ended up defending, what his name, Roddy White? The guy that ended up chasing Ahmaud around the neighborhood? That guy that was just talking, that ended up being his lawyer. He was the lawyer for everybody in Brunswick if you needed a public defender. He was the chief public defender. He don't give a fuck about none of these folks. But y'all seen how incompetent he was during the trial. But he was blowing the whistle on Jackie Johnson before the Ahmaud Arbery trial. That's where this comes from.
You feel, in your opinion, that some defendants did not get a fair trial when Jackie Johnson was district attorney?
I have no doubt that defendants did not get a fair trial. I have no doubt that people that were innocent under the law went to jail. And, the sad thing is, trying to figure out Earz difficult.
The two Goff says Johnson's indictment shows his complaints for years had merit, especially since the former police chief was also indicted in a subsequent corruption case.
I think that's a pretty damning indictment of the way law enforcement has been operating in.
When the police chief gets indicted, all these elected officials are getting indicted down there in Brunswick. But here she goes slipping through the cracks.
In Glynn County for some time. So, it's troubling, and I'm sure the community is troubled by it.
Johnson blamed the controversy over Arbery's death for her election defeat last year. Independent candidate Keith Higgins collected thousands of signatures to get on the ballot and won. He's now the two Glenn County police officers shooting and killing Caroline Small after.
Now, here's a story before the Ahmaud Arbery story that the world didn't get to hear about. This is a white woman. This is a case about a white woman, y'all. Remember when I told y'all she has blood on her hands, and we're not just talking about Ahmaud Arbery. But of course, when she's going to court, she's only facing the little bit that they got her on Ahmaud Arbery. They're not going through the other cases that she should have been charged with or held accountable for. And it's not even a white or black thing, because here's a white woman, y'all, that she allowed one of her officers to kill, and she gave him a slap on the wrist, and then he ended up killing 2 more people. So that's 3 deaths she had on her hands before she even got to Ahmaud. If they would have handled her way back then, she would have never got to Ahmaud. And if they would have handled her right now with Ahmaud, she might not get to the next person. That's why I put in that thumbnail, the cycle continues, because she's running for another office. No telling what city it'll be. It might be a city near you. Might be a city near you. And I'll show y'all. She's running for office right now because they just let her go. So it's like it never happened. But look how the story ended up when she ignored this type of behavior, when she displayed this type of behavior before Ahmaud.
He's now the 2 Glenn County police officers shooting and killing Caroline Small after she led them on a chase. Cops had her car pinned and she was unarmed when they fired. Johnson presented the officer-involved shootings to a grand jury, but defense attorney Bill Adkins told the I-Team she made several legal missteps. Johnson provided the officers' defense attorneys with evidence before she presented it to a grand jury.
See, and this woman is clever. She's clever. She knows when she break the law, she knows how to put little shit that can derail the whole case within the case. See, she provided the attorneys with evidence before the grand jury. You ain't supposed to do that. She do a lot of shit where they have to end up throwing it out by technicality. And that's how she ended up just getting off, by technicality. Not that she wasn't guilty, not that they didn't have evidence, by technicality.
Johnson went before the grand jury without presenting an indictment, and she allowed defense attorneys to participate in the grand jury hearing by asking questions. No charges were filed against the officers.
She violated that, plainly, unequivocal, and there was no consequence other than the fact that 2 men went free.
Beat up
Buick Century with nowhere to turn. Police beat.
Now, this is in 2010, people. Imagine if she would have been held accountable back in 2010. Now, I'm not saying that the Ahmaud Arbery situation wouldn't have happened, but maybe it wouldn't have happened as far as those guys being free for so long and the whole country having to come to the defense of it.
Which flanked her on 2 sides. A shallow ditch was on another, and a utility pole. If she moves the car, I'm going to shoot her. And Officer yelled. Small pulled forward, 8 bullets tore through the windshield, striking her in the head and the face. The shooting was captured on police dash cam video. Let me tell you why I'm bringing this to your attention. Jackie Johnson, when she was appointed DA and then ran for DA later, she inherited this case. Well, she presented evidence to the grand jury. Members of that grand jury, they have now come out and said she did not present proper evidence to them based on what they know about the case now. So grand jury members have broken protocol to say that they regret indicting those cops, but they did not indict those cops because the DA, Jackie Johnson, presented misleading information about their death.
She came in the door already on some slick shit. Misleading juries, grand juries. And I guess that's what they like. When they seen that in them, like, oh, she came in like, oh, nah, y'all ain't about to make me mess up my job already. Nah, y'all ain't gonna, y'all ain't gonna mess this up for me.
About the death of this one woman and about their shooting this one woman, Caroline Small.
So just so y'all know, it's not about just being black down there. It was about the fact that she wanted to protect her job, protect her power, protect her officers.
Here's what else happened. The GBI believed it was in fact murder. One retired GBI agent said he
was unarmed when they fired. Johnson presented the officer-involved shootings to a grand jury, but defense attorney Bill Adkins told the I-Team she made several legal missteps. Johnson provided the officer's defense attorneys with evidence before she presented it to a grand jury. Johnson went before the grand jury without presenting an indictment, and she allowed defense attorneys to participate in the grand jury hearing by asking questions. No charges were filed against the officers.
She violated that, plainly, unequivocally, and there was no consequence other than the fact that two men went free.
One of them would later become a fugitive on domestic abuse charges.
Now, this guy here name is Shasta. Y'all. You are looking at the equivalent of everybody seen Training Day, right? Y'all seen Denzel Washington part, but, this the white guy. I don't know if there's a movie about a white crooked cop. But this was our crooked cop, y'all. This was he was one of them. There's a couple of them. But this one here was famous, notorious for planting dope on niggas. Notorious for being on dope his damn self. He was notorious for violating your rights. But he knew he had somebody like Jackie in his pocket. He could do whatever the fuck he wanted to. And all the cops knew that. I got a homeboy that, got shot by some cops or whatever, and they won't release the body cam. The whole world didn't stand up for that.
And in 2018, he killed his estranged wife and another man before turning the gun.
Yes, you heard all this right, man. It's not a...
So, what happened when he got let out, when he got off, when he was one of those officers that got off on killing that girl, shooting up that girl's car, then he started beating up on his ex-wife. They let him out of jail. He went and kidnapped his ex-wife or did something to her. They let him out of jail again. Then he went and killed the woman and her new husband and then killed himself. So she was responsible for 4 lives before she even got to Ahmaud. Can y'all believe this shit?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Have anybody else told y'all this? What's good, dialogue with me? Do y'all realize this? This is big. I mean, when it comes to the Ahmaud shit and this woman walking off, and you can look around YouTube and you don't see anybody talking about it. You don't hear anybody talking about it. Four deaths she's responsible for before she even got to Ahmaud. And a crooked police force, because he wasn't the only one. There was multiple cops that got off on that. Just like there was multiple incidents and multiple cops that ignored all the evidence and facts when they went and covered that murder scene. They knew they were supposed to lock them boys up.
Movie, this is real life. It already happened before, you know. Officer involved shooting, shot through the lady glass shield while she's on a low speed chase. Didn't pose a threat at all. Killed this young white lady.
Oh shit, my fault, y'all. My fault. All right, let me read that again. I'm gonna go back a little bit, because all of this stuff that I'm kind of scanning through right here, and back then I wasn't that good of a YouTuber, so of course I didn't see all the writing right here, and make sure I got all the writing. But this man, like I say, after he killed that one woman, right? They let him off. Jackie Johnson was just coming in office. Let him off after he killed that first woman. He had been hospitalized for observation since his arrest because he had a standoff with law enforcement early on May 18th. During an alleged assault, he assaulted 2 fellow police officers, and according to the warrant, at the time, law enforcement officials were trying to rearrest him. So he beat up the police when they tried to arrest him for beating up his wife the first time. And then he held them on a police standoff, y'all. Y'all got to think about all this shit this motherfucker did to show he was violent, he was crazy, he ain't giving no fucks. He had a warrant and he fought the police. Those charges stem from an incident May 13th, which he allegedly confronted his estranged wife at the door of her new boyfriend's house. He was ordered a no contact. Then say with Glenn County Police, say both of whom he kicked. Think he kicked in the door or some shit. He held the police. He got out on bond with $5,000 property bond. Say once he walks out of the gate at the detention center, hours to get out of Glenn County. So they tried to kick him out of Glenn County, and he said, fuck that. He was banned from Glenn County, y'all. Say Sasser is charged with 2 felony accounts of obstruction of police officer. Obstruction of police officer with violence. That carried 10 years to a regular motherfucker. They'll hold you in the county. 1 misdemeanor obstruction of law enforcement. All stemming from an 18-count indictment. He faces simple battery, criminal trespass under the State Family Violence Act in connection with his arrest. He additionally can have no contact with his wife on unpaid administrative leave since his first arrest. Glenn County Police Powers said he had started a process to fire Shasta, who has been with the department for however much time. I've been giving him a notice that he's been terminated. They terminated him, but they didn't keep his ass locked up like he should have been. And yeah, he was one of the 2 cops that was involved in the shooting of the woman. That's what that's talking about. 2014 ruled officer did not violate small civil rights with the use of firearm. Ruling was upheld in the 11th Circuit Court of the U.S. Court. See, I mean, they covered for the motherfuckers did. Saying that they didn't violate her civil rights. Okay, here it is. Why I got the whole thing, but not just a piece of it. 2014, U.S. District Court Judge Lisa Godsby Wood ruled that the officer did not violate small civil right with the use of force. Now, all y'all just seen that car get shot up. They allowed that. It's not just her. Sasser is being represented presently by defense attorney Alan David Tucker. Y'all done heard that Alan Tucker name before, right? Bronx is so small they all use the same lawyers and all that, but she went and got the big dogs from up there, that Young Thug trial when she had to get off. She got protected by the state, not by Brunswick. This woman is more powerful than Brunswick, y'all. That's what I'm telling you. She got appointed to what she was in Brunswick, but she got appointed from the governor of Georgia. That shit bigger than Brunswick, I'm telling you.
Lives that has been lost, including his own. And
so let me read some of this, what I got here. Sasser initially was arrested May 13th when he arrived at Glenn County home of his wife at about 3:30 a.m. So this motherfucker went to his wife's house at 3:30 a.m. He allegedly grabbed her arm when she attempted to close the front door. Several responding county police officers alleged had to physically restrain Sasser. Sasser turned himself into county jail the next day, was released on a $4,800 bond. On afternoon of May 17th, a person concerned about Sasser's welfare called county police and asked them to check on him. Police responded to Hutchinson Plantation off Georgia 99, found Sasser inside his truck in the woods, at which time they heard a gunshot. The gunfire indicated to the police that Sasser had violated the conditions of his release, requiring him to avoid firearms. Now, he should have been locked up and kept locked up at this time. But they let him out, and he ended up killing himself and his wife and her ex-husband. And like I say, Jackie Johnson is the one that made sure that this man kept going out on the streets. And I know y'all wonder, like, how the fuck did we get into this guy? I'm showing you when she should have been the fuck out of office before she even got to him. And now they're letting her go again. We'll probably be reading another story that she's behind again. The cycle continues. Because this is the second story that we're reading about her. What's good, Muso Bronze? We read the first story about the girl getting her car shot up. She ain't had no gun on her. She was on a low-speed chase. Not even a high-speed chase. She was on a low-speed chase. She was white. We can't say he just shooting black people. She was just coming in the office, so she ain't really had no ties with him. It's like somebody placed her there to protect certain, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But they made sure to protect her. She came in and protected the officers. Presenting the evidence the wrong way. That way, even when it went to Supreme Court, to the highest circuit court, even they couldn't do nothing about it because the wording. These motherfuckers are master of words. Boy, I'm telling you. That pen is a motherfucker. That pen is a motherfucker. So this man, he in the woods with his gun. He's shooting. You know he ain't supposed to have no gun. He was supposed to get locked up, and he wasn't supposed to get out until he went to trial at this point. But when you have the DA in your back pocket, and then they'll let you back on the street, this the type of shit that happened. Police attempted to take him into custody at 4:30 p.m., and they standoff ensued with Sasser inside the truck, believed to be armed. The State Patrol SWAT team was called to the scene. It surrounded the truck and took Sasser into custody about 1:30 a.m. That nigga stayed in the truck with a standoff all fucking day, costing all that taxpayer money, and she still let that nigga back on the street. Yeah, they had a trial. We about to get into a little bit of the trial. We already know the results, but we're gonna see, you know, how the results became the results. And I want to show you what can't be showed in the trial, but this is what she keeps getting away with.
She never held him accountable. The only thing she did is hide it so she can get reelected and continue on with what she was doing, and she was attempting to not hold up justice for.
Okay, so Let's read what I got right here. Avoid file. Police attempted to take him into custody. Okay, I already read that part. Robert Sasser did not comply with lawful commands given to him by members of the Georgia State Patrol SWAT team, and had to be taken into custody through the use of less than lethal force, taser device. Now, if they was just like him, they would have just shot through the motherfucking windshield. County Police Officer Hyer and Liska both are squad medics and were trying to help Shasta when he allegedly kicked them. So he was kicking the police, the medics, and all that shit.
What she was doing is she was
out of his fucking mind
to not hold up justice for another family of another victim.
Hold up, let me read that before I go to the next.
To not hold up justice for another.
So, what it say? Did not comply. Police officer Hyer, both medics, and kicked them according to the warrant. Shasta kicked Linska and Hyer in the groin while they were performing their duties as squad medics and attempting to render aid to Shasta. That motherfucker was on some dope, y'all. He was on some dope, and they probably knew that shit, but they didn't want to put that in this. Shasta had been the subject of several internal affairs, disciplinary actions, including being written up for inappropriate behavior. Powell said when called by the news Thursday, he was demoted from lieutenant to sergeant at one point, but later earned promotion back to lieutenant. I wonder how. Powell said the police department had no role in setting Sasser's release or conditions upon which was granted. The police department didn't have no control over that. That was the DA office. And who was over the DA office? And who was over the DA office?
The family of another victim
was the district's former chief public defender, Kevin Goff, who says there were violations long before the Arbery case.
What about the thousands of other people who've been run through the criminal justice system and the tens of thousands across the state? What's being done to make sure that these kinds of problems don't happen again?
So are you saying that you feel, in your opinion, that some defendants did not get a fair trial when Jackie Johnson was district attorney?
I have no doubt that defendants did not get a fair trial. I have no doubt that people that were innocent under the law went to jail. And, the sad thing is, trying to figure out if they are is difficult.
The two sparred frequently in court. Goff's indictment shows his complaints for years had merit, especially since the former police chief was also indicted in a subsequent.
As much as we looked at Goff in that court case, and when he was talking about getting a mistrial because of the pastors and everything, and the whole world looking like, look at this racist motherfucker here. And I don't know if he's racist or not. I know he has an old southern way, and it looks like him. But he was the public defender for a lot of underprivileged people. If you ain't got no money, you need a lawyer here. That's who's going to be defending you, and that's why he was defending Mr. Roddy Brown. And he had the wrong motherfucker defending him because he didn't have a chance. He knew he didn't have a chance if it was Jackie Johnson. Now, if it was Jackie Johnson, they would have had them a backyard deal. But that's probably what she was suspecting. That's probably why she was trying to get reelected so bad, because if she would have got reelected and she was the DA, yeah, this would have been one of those outrages in court, because these three guys would have got away with it, because this is what she's known for. She can indict a ham sandwich, but she can't get this guy arrested when he literally has a guy's blood on his hands. He really doesn't have any reason that you're chasing around a guy besides that you feel like you're a cop. And your son thought he was a cop. Both of y'all thought y'all was cops. Y'all thought y'all had the right to tell who can jog in your neighborhood or not. And for the DA to be the first person you call when you do something like this, so you don't have to face accountability like a regular citizen, which you are for what you did. But even if this was a cop shooting, it still would be dead wrong. The guy wasn't armed. He wasn't a threat. This woman has made sure she directed the police not to arrest this guy. And then, even after that, she recused herself from the case and then recommended it to a neighboring district attorney that she had connections with. But she didn't let nobody know she had connections with this neighboring district attorney. The same way she did when it was the Caroline Small case. Now,
Mr. Barnhill,
when she passed it over to this guy,
district
he
attorney,
immediately recused himself. But before he recused himself, he wrote
Johnson
a letter
also knowingly
to
and
not
willingly
have these
directed
guys
2 Glenn
arrested
County police
also.
officers not to arrest
And then on
Travis
top of
McMichael.
that,
Contrary to the law
this
of the
guy
state, the
had a
indictment
conflict
says
of interest too because his
George E.
son
Barnhill,
worked
the
in
elected
the same
DA,
DA office as Jack.
Now, this was back in my rookie days, so I didn't realize I was talking over him explaining who this guy was. This guy is when Jackie Johnson decided to recuse herself from the case, she sent the case to this guy, which he's in the neighboring county. I believe it was Wayne County, Ware County, one of them. So, you know, she's not supposed to have any relationship with him, but his son worked in her office also. So as Ahmaud's mother is steady calling her like, hey, what are you going to do about this case and this and that? Why these guys not arrested? And she's like, oh, well, I pass it off to another county. Pass it off to this guy, and he says, well, I don't see anything wrong here. Hey, everything was justified. Not knowing that his son works in her office and this is just a favor. That's how corrupt it was, y'all. Imagine a DA and your child just got murdered by some guy that thinks he's the police officer, but he really does work in the DA office. He's kind of a bounty hunter. And him and his son murders your child, and the person that's supposed to be serving and protecting your community, she's passing off the case to her friends just to tell you that there's nothing to see here, nothing wrong here. And then he passes it off to somebody else, trying to get you lost as a citizen, playing politics with your child's life. And you telling me she ain't did nothing wrong?
Directed 2 Glenn County police officers not to arrest Travis McMichael. Contrary to the law of the state, the indictment
conflict
says
of interest too because his
George
son
E. Barnhill,
worked
the elected
in the same
DA,
DA office as Jackie Johnson.
mother, her name is Wanda Cooper Jones. Miss Jones,
Wonder how that
a
happened.
remarkable woman, I've interviewed her before,
Coincidence.
insisted that DA Barnhill had a conflict of interest.
Now this is clear aiding and abetting of,
Jackie
you know,
Johnson,
a murder. This is clear tampering with evidence.
and that Greg McMichael worked.
This guy tried to say he don't see any grounds. We don't see any grounds, not him. When the whole world can look at the same video and see plenty of grounds. The GBI looked at it and seen plenty of grounds. He tried to pass up.
Now, that's what I'm wondering right now. Why is the GBI not stepping in and prosecuting her? Why is she only getting prosecuted by Brunswick? What's good, TNA Travel? Why is she only getting prosecuted through Brunswick and the GBI didn't pick up her case? Because they got more resources. That was real funny to me.
To another district attorney, but that's when the GBI got a hold of it, and this is why it took so long for these guys to get arrested, because Jackie Johnson was making sure to send it around in her personal circle so she could get the results that she wanted to get. She wanted to make sure it was somebody that's gonna get the results that she wanted to protect another one of her officers. Even though she had this video from the first minute it happened, she seen that this guy was there.
What's good, Iceberg? Yeah, we about halfway through. But I was going over this video that I did when I first came to YouTube. Before I think I made this video probably before I started making, I don't know. But I definitely made this video in my very early YouTube days, as y'all could tell. I'm talking low. I'm not using a microphone. I'm talking through my computer. But this is when I used to just only upload videos. I didn't do lives. But now that, we down the road, we can go over this video. It was a very good edit. I wish I could have talked louder, but hey, if you listen good, you'll hear what's going on. And I went over 3 situations where Jackie Johnson should not be in office. She shouldn't have been in office when this happened to Ahmaud. The first time is when a young white lady got shot by some police officers, and she was just coming into office, and she presented evidence to the grand jury in a deceitful way, which they admitted themselves. And those officers got off, which was one of them was this officer named Robert Sasser. Then that officer went off to abuse his wife, and then he had a standoff with the SWAT team. When he bailed out from abusing his wife, he had a firearm, got into a standoff with the SWAT team. Should have been held in jail. But, because of the DA office, because the police officer said they had no control over that, the DA office, which is Jackie Johnson, let this man go free, knowing he was a dangerous man and he was not in his right state of mind. He went off and went and killed his wife and her husband and killed himself. So there's 4 dead bodies on her before she even got to Ahmaud Arbery. And then we seen how she handled this case. She took the case. This man called her immediately. She tried to recuse herself, but she sent the case to a person where their son works in her office. And they tried to say, hey, they didn't see anything here. And then they tried to pass it off to another county, and they did the same thing. They refused the mother of this victim justice. And there's plenty of evidence of that, but there's also a whole bunch of missteps in the way that they handled the case when it happened. But, of course, who handled this case? She did. She set it up to be what the results end up being, which is the mistrial, which is everything getting thrown out. You can't prove that I did something wrong because of who investigated her. Oh, the people that used to work for you? The people that put you in power? You mean those people? You really mean that they messed up the investigation, huh? Yeah, okay.
Into the room, they knew he didn't have a weapon, and it was all caught on camera. It took the GBI to pick up this case to get these guys arrested. Now she's facing charges also. I'm not sure if the GBI is going to charge her if there's any kind of federal investigation going on within the Brunswick Police Department. I doubt it. But they scaled some slap on the wrist charges. Really some bullshit.
Some straight bullshit. They gave her, even if she would have got convicted, y'all, all she was charged with was misdemeanors. She wasn't getting charged with no tampering with evidence, no, I don't know, assisting with a murder, something. She was getting charged with misdemeanors. Only thing she would have had to worry about is maybe not getting certain positions no more. That's it. But now that she ain't getting charged with shit, she can run for governor somewhere, or run for mayor, or run for another district attorney.
2 charges. They're not that serious. She was
What's good, Jimmy McFly?
able to get out on an OR bond, which you don't have to pay any money. These are charges right here. She was indicted on violation of oath for a public officer, obstruction of injury and law enforcement. That's bullshit. Where's the meeting up there? This lady got plenty of shit going on. I'm talking about people from Brunswick, Georgia know, man. There's a lot of evidence, a lot of covering up that she's done over the years. what she usually have Kevin Goff to eat off of. That's why she was the top district attorney in the state. I mean, he's been the chief public defender for years, facing her in all the trials. Every trial of a person that don't got money, he's been throwing them to the wolves. I mean, they think they slick, but man, y'all been trading people all for years. This is how the system works.
This is how the system works, y'all. All they're doing is trading. They'll trade one for another. They just pretty much, they gave us the three guys, but they kept the most important one. The one that can keep it going. And all they're going to do is come up for a new trial. No telling what's going to happen in that new trial. Hell, they'll probably get pardoned shit for the federal hate crime shit. All they got to do is beat the state trial. If they can get that knocked down to 20 years and then get pardoned for the Fed, the motherfuckers could actually get out. Or at least the son can.
No coincidence that
What's good, Amelia Dixon?
all these police shooting and all of a sudden they don't find nothing wrong. It's because it's how they present it to the grand jury. I had a friend get killed by the Bronx police 2 years ago. They will not release the body cam video. They claim he shot at them. I've been on this guy since he was 6 years old. He dabbled in the streets. I'm gonna say that he was a clean guy. But one thing I knew he would not do is shoot at the damn police. We know better than that shit. I can't say for other people, but I.
And yet, this is another situation. This happened a little bit before the Ahmaud Arbery situation. This is another police shooting where it was this guy here is from Dixville also. Yeah, he would have some trouble, but he wasn't a gun toter. He was he'd do little petty hustles and stuff like that, but he was killed by the police under her watch, and of course her police officer got off. They would not release the body cam footage. Didn't get a whole bunch of rallying up for it. So that's 5 bodies before she even got to Ahmaud.
I know this guy here personally, and the whole city suspected it's some bullshit, just like we suspected it was some bullshit when it was Ahmaud. The whole city was defending Ahmaud. They was telling us it was a videotape out, but they were making it like it was a videotape of him stealing. So they kind of kept it away from us until.
The Brunswick News misled the public so bad with this case, y'all. The Brunswick News had us thinking that they caught this man red-handed stealing, and, he had done been there stealing before. That's what the news tried to make us think until that video came out. If that video wouldn't have came out, none of this shit wouldn't have happened.
It got leaked out, and then we found out what really happened. We found out the real cover-up. When my friend just got killed, Jackie Johnson was still in office. I'm pretty sure there's a cover-up. But that's another video for another time. Thank you guys for joining in.
Hey, man, shout out to that old school Earz to the Streets before I was Earz to the Streets, when I was just Expound News, Views, and Reaction. I was Expound Podcast, and I was still going by the name Craig Hendricks. But, like I said, outside the audio, I think that was a very good video. Now, let's go to, let's fast forward. That was my breakdown of everything that she should be charged with and why she should have never even got to the place that she's at now. And, so what they end up getting was, we end up in this situation here where from day one, they know that she was violating. They know what she did. You know, because they're the ones that was dropping the news about it. Let's go through a couple of news articles where they absolutely knew the corruption that she played. Listen to this audio.
Jackie, this is Greg. Can you call me as soon as you...
Sorry about that, y'all. You know, you got to deal with those. But this is an audio of as soon as he shot Ahmaud, him calling Jackie Johnson. Now, this does not make her automatically guilty, but if you don't get arrested after you do this, now that makes it very suspicious. Am I correct? What's good, JT Money Man?
Jackie, this is Greg. Can you call me as soon as you possibly can? My friend and I have been involved in a shooting, and I need some advice right away. If you can please call me as soon as you possibly can.
Now, who else has this privilege? Did Sasser have this privilege? Did the guy Robert Sasser, do y'all think he was able to do the same thing when he shot that young lady? Or when he went to his ex-wife's house at 3:30 in the morning? Or when he held the police at a standoff? Do you think he had this same access to call her, but it just never came out?
Thanks. Bye.
Now, that was a call made by convicted killer Greg McMichael to then Glynn County, Georgia District Attorney Jackie Johnson shortly after Ahmaud Arbery was shot and killed in February of 2020. Now, that call and others have landed the former DA in legal trouble for allegedly hindering the investigation into Arbery's death. Now, Johnson was indicted by the grand jury for violating her oath of office, among other charges. Now, 3 months ago, she filed a motion asking the court to dismiss the charges due to a lack of evidence.
She already know. Now, this video here is this video here was done a year ago. And I'm showing this for a reason. Because she already knows how to manipulate the system. She already knew what she was going to put in place to get her case dismissed for a lack of evidence. Not that she's innocent, a lack of evidence. She already knew the angle she was going to go to.
Well, yesterday, the judge ruled he would not dismiss the case, clearing the way for a possible trial. Now, Johnson was the top prosecutor in Glynn County when 3 white men, Greg McMichael, his son Travis, and their friend William Roddy Bryan, chased Arbery in pickup trucks and killed him. Arbery was running through their neighborhood at the time and had not committed any crimes. Now, after the incident, Greg McMichael, who once worked as an investigator in Jackie Johnson's office, called her for help. Now, shortly thereafter, Johnson recused herself from the case, but according to prosecutors, not before she told officers not to arrest her former employee.
Now, if that's not clear abuse of your power, I don't know what is. So, if soon as he called you and say, hey, Jackie, I need your help, I need your advice, if she recused herself immediately right there, there's nothing wrong. But don't tell the officers, hey, don't arrest them guys, and then try to pass the case off to somebody else that worked for your same office. And they say, nah, don't arrest them guys. See, next time she's going to be a little bit slicker. Next time she's going to be better at this type of shit. She fucked up this time, and they ain't even get her when she fucked up. Next time she's going to be way better at this. Trust me. She going to pass that motherfucker off immediately next time. She ain't even going to motherfucker call her. She going to tell niggas, hey, motherfucker, you killed somebody, don't call me. Call me on the burner phone.
Now, 2 months later, video of Arbery's murder would be leaked online, leading to the arrest of the 3 men involved in the shooting, including Greg McMichael. Now, the call that McMichael made to Johnson came up during a hearing for the 3 defendants. Take a listen.
States 18 is the voicemail left to then District Attorney, and this goes to prong number 4. risk of influencing and obstructing justice.
So they got this in court, and you saying there's a lack of evidence? You got the man calling you, saying, hey, I need to talk to you. And then you telling the police, got the police coming up here and saying, yeah, she didn't tell me to do anything. She didn't tell me to arrest the man. Or they told me not to arrest him. All this evidence, then you say, lack of evidence. Playing in your face.
From the crime scene.
Jackie, this is Greg. Can you call me as soon as you possibly can? My friend and I have been involved in a shooting, and I need some advice right away. So please call me as soon as you possibly can. Thanks. Bye.
This evidence shows from day one there was an attempt by these defendants to influence and obstruct the investigation of this case.
That should be goddamn open and shut. Not the fact that he just called her and said that, but the fact that she actually told them not to arrest them. She reacted to him calling. She didn't tell them not to arrest them without him calling. Now then I could say, okay, you might not have anything there. She made that decision. But him calling her and then she doing it, and you're going to tell me there's no evidence when you showing us the evidence? The fuck am I missing here?
As to all the evidence that was presented from defense's witness regarding Greg McMichael's former employment as Glenn County law enforcement, in rebuttal to that, we have the post record State's Exhibit 20, which you've heard about today. And I want to be clear on this, Your Honor. I am not saying, the state is not saying that the effect of these phone calls and discussions, voicemails to the DA then, that it had the desired effect. That's not the standard that the court must look at. You must look at whether the defendant had the intention of obstructing and influencing the investigation, and that's the purpose of this evidence, is to show that he wanted to influence and obstruct this. So the standard is pose significant risk of intimidating witnesses or obstructing justice, and that's the evidence that we're presenting before the court now.
And it's like they went a certain angle to try to get her off. Oh, what's his intent? Bitch, y'all know what the fuck that man doing, and you know what the fuck she did. This is not her lawyer. We seen who her lawyer was. This is the DA. But it sounds like her lawyer.
Now, the three men, as you well know, were eventually tried and convicted in November of 2021 for killing Arbery. Now, 2 months before the verdict, a grand jury indicted Jackie Johnson for her alleged role in delaying that investigation. And Lee Merritt, one of the attorneys for Arbery's family, reacted to her indictment.
With regard to Jackie Johnson, what was presented to...
And he's the attorney, but he wasn't the defense attorney for, you know, we're seeing how shit unfolds now, y'all.
The grand jury was first evidence that Jackie Johnson had a relationship.
And the reason they didn't let her lose, in my opinion, because if she would have lost, guess who this guy here would have sued? It was bigger than Ahmaud Arbery. They'd rather give him a street. They gave him a street. But if Jackie Johnson would have lost that case, that's when he steps in. Big ass lawsuit. The city of Brunswick. It would have been called Ahmaud Arbery, Georgia. I ain't lying. That would have been Ahmaud Arbery, Georgia. They would have bankrupt Brunswick. The whole state had to step in here. Nah, we'll let them get caught up, but yeah, we can't let you get that much. Nah, we can't let you get that. We'll let you get the three white men. Okay, cool, but we can't let you get that. It's deep, y'all. Y'all know Earz on think outside the box, you know. But tell me when I'm not making sense.
relationship with Gregory McMichael, the father of the shooter, Travis McMichael, that immediately became involved in the case. The first phone call that Gregory McMichael made from the scene of the shooting was to Jackie Johnson saying, "I'm in trouble and I need help." And instead of opting out and saying that she had a conflict, she called the subsequent prosecutor, George Barnhill, and began to discuss and get his advice on the case before ultimately referring the case over to him without disclosing to anyone that she had referenced him for this case or that he too had a conflict concerning Gregory McMichael. And so the prosecution will show that she violated her oath of office, that Ahmaud Arbery and his family wasn't given a fair shake at justice from the beginning because she put her thumb in the scale by using relationships that she had developed over time.
And anybody can see this. This is like in your face disrespect. Anybody can see what, everybody sees this.
File your.
Everybody sees what just happened. You took down 3 and you let go 1, but the one that you let go, I would have rather you let go one of the killers and had the DA caught. And we didn't know this guy at the time because, you know.
Now Johnson is being represented by Brian Steele. Does that that sound familiar? That's the same attorney who's representing rapper Young Thug in his racketeering trial happening in Georgia right now. And no word on when Jackie Johnson's trial could start. And again, it's been delayed over and over because Brian Steele is in fact involved in that Young Thug trial. So it could be some time before we get to.
So that's about all I want to play out of that video because now they're just pretty much about to, you know, do their speculation and all that stuff like that. So now let's get to some of the things that were the news that
we're following this
that was leaked from the trial. I tried to see if they was gonna have the live trial, but they didn't. They just kept showing highlights of what was going on in the trial. So let's see what was presented to ultimately come to there was no evidence all of a sudden.
Evening, the trial of the former Brunswick district attorney who's accused of obstructing the investigation into the murder of Ahmaud Arbery continues.
Boy, what the hell is that on your lip, boy? Boy, you been smoking some dope or you been eating the wrong kind of... Boy, let me stop. Y'all see what we dealing with in Brunswick?
Today with testimony from other attorneys with direct ties to the case. Jackie Johnson recused herself from the case the day of the shooting and is accused of using her position to prevent the arrest of the men who were eventually convicted of murdering Ahmaud Arbery. Rich Donnelly was in the Glenn County courthouse all day. He was in the courtroom. So let's talk about who took the stand today, Rich.
Anthony, there are 2 men named George Barnhill who both took the stand today. They're both integral in this case.
So George Barnhill, do that name sound familiar? That's the first guy that she passed the case on to. Now, do you think he gonna get up there and tell the truth? Knowing that he took on a case that she done broke all the way down to him, knowing that his son works in her office, and that's why she passed the case on to him. But he's the first witness, though. Y'all see what's going on here?
The men are father and son. The younger George Barnhill actually worked for Jackie Johnson when she was the district attorney in Brunswick.
So you telling me you didn't know that the guy that you're passing this case off to, son, works in your office? You telling me you can get in front of a jury and I'm supposed to be a person in this jury and you're going to tell me that this woman did not know that the person that she was passing this case off to, son, works in the office, and I wouldn't consider that a conflict of interest? What the fuck kind of jury was sitting there and you told them this and they still didn't find no evidence that you're tampering with? I mean, what the fuck? Come on now.
The older George Barnhill was the Waycross district attorney, and he was the first DA to take the case after Johnson recused herself. Now retired Waycross district attorney George Barnhill took the witness stand and
he retired, so he don't give no fucks. Don't give no fucks. He retired. You know he gonna come up here and, man, please.
Said he took over the case regarding the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery the day of the shooting after he said he had a phone call with Brunswick DA Jackie Johnson, who told Barnhill that she had a conflict, but that was it.
So she told him she had a conflict, but that was it. Well, why he didn't say, well, I got a conflict because my son work in your office? Are we ignoring that part? I mean, I'm just an HVAC duct mechanic. These are lawyers. How the fuck is that? I mean, how is that not the elephant in the room?
No instruction or no one way or the other. It's just, listen, will you handle this case? It's like, well, you know, what kind of case? And I don't think she.
What kind of case? Why you ain't say, well, you know my son works in your office, right? That would be a conflict of interest. This guy looks high.
Even other than telling me Greg McMichael, I don't know that she told me the victim's name or she didn't give me an officer name.
It didn't matter, motherfucker. Your son worked in her office. There's a conflict. I mean, what am I missing here? She didn't tell me no victim. She didn't tell me nobody. She just said, hey, will you take this case? I was like, well, shit, I ain't got shit else to do. Fuck it. Man, come on, y'all.
Just to go to Glen PD and they needed to talk to us.
Greg McMichael worked for Johnson and was eventually convicted in Arbery's murder. However, Barnhill said that when he met with the Glenn County Police Department the day after the shooting, GCPD showed him evidence in the case and informed him that they did not arrest anyone involved in Arbery's death.
They had made an opinion. They had senior staff in there. They had people that apparently had years of experience. That was their opinion.
Another.
What? So they said, hell, it wasn't nothing there. That's their opinion. So shit, they said it to me. I just said, hell, that's my opinion too.
Criticism of Barnhill was that he was withholding information about the case, but Barnhill said there was a simple explanation for not making evidence public when the case was still open.
Now, should this have been another person that's on trial? Did he not neglect his position? I mean, in my opinion, I know he's a lawyer. I don't want to get in trouble. But do y'all see what's going on here? Y'all see how many people aren't getting arrested? How many people are still out here with power? Yeah, he retired for a reason.
So when you say I was hiding information, it wasn't hiding it. I was not sharing information with news media.
Oh, I wasn't hiding it. I wasn't sharing it with the news media, but what about that man mama? You wasn't sharing it with her either.
Or the dozens of other people that would call up there and demand to be told something.
And that. You mean like his family? Wow.
It was appropriate, right? I mean,
that is normal procedure. We don't.
No, it ain't, because if that was a young Caucasian brother, I bet you would have gave it to every news outlet, made sure every person got answered. I mean, come on with the beat. Come on, man. Y'all see how they're playing our face?
That's the way it's done. We don't, the prosecutor doesn't try his case in the media.
Former Waycross District Attorney George Barnhill said that he eventually recused himself from the Arbery case due to increased threats against him and his family, although he added none of those threats came from Arbery's family. The obstruction.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't, but you probably want people to think that they did, or it came from, you know. That's crazy, though.
Trial of former Brunswick District Attorney Jackie Johnson will resume on Monday.
So that's some of the so-called evidence they had. Now let's go to
Thank you. Let's go to Georgia now.
His mother also testified.
Glynn County, a former Brunswick district attorney, was in the hot seat today as witness testimony began in the trial against Jackie Johnson, who's accused of obstruction of justice in the 2020 shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery. Johnson is accused of using her position to protect gunman Travis McMichael, as well as his father Gregory McMichael, her former employee. The two men, along with William Roddy Bryan, a neighbor, were all convicted of murder and hate crimes in Arbery's death. Our Zach Wilcox is in Glynn County right now. He's at the courthouse. And Zach, you all heard from several witnesses today in the courtroom.
Anthony, 3 witnesses took the stand. You had Arbery's mom take the stand and recount her tale about finding out about her son's death and trying to get more information after that. We also heard from a legal expert as well as an investigator who interrogated the suspects that day. And as you mentioned, really the role for the jury here is to decide whether or not the district attorney used her position of power to protect her former employee.
And that's the whole point right there. And you'll hear all this evidence and they're like, nope. I don't see anything here.
And his son, who were ultimately convicted.
And most importantly, I didn't know what happened to my baby.
Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, told the jury she spent weeks trying to figure out what led up to her son getting shot and killed.
Now, they tell us a story about she recused herself, gave the case to that guy. Then the next day, he said, hey, they say ain't nothing happened. So why did it take her weeks? If y'all did all this in 2 days, 3 days within a week, why did it take her weeks?
She started with Glynn County.
He went on to tell me that there was no case for Ahmaud Arbery in their office.
She said she eventually learned the district attorney in Ware County was handling the case, adding to her confusion.
If the crime occurred in Glynn County, why was it over in Waycross?
Cooper Jones learned there was some kind of conflict going on, which turned out to be that Greg McMichael, who was accused of starting the chase, worked for Brunswick District Attorney Jackie Johnson just a few months prior. Something McMichael brought up during his interrogation the day Arbery was killed.
I called Jackie and I left a message for her. I said, Jackie, my son and I have been involved in the shooting. Call me as soon as you possibly can.
Now, that was him right there letting you know, yeah, I got the power.
Although I'm not employed there any longer, I want her to know.
Even though I'm not employed there anymore, I want to let her know, yeah, motherfucker, all that work I done put in.
Johnson argues she handed the case off immediately when she learned of the conflict, something the defense asked a legal expert about before the jury.
That district attorney could voluntarily recuse himself.
That's correct.
What's wrong with that district attorney calling a non-conflicted prosecutor to say, can you please help out the police?
There's nothing wrong with that.
What? Who wrote these rules? Who wrote these rules? There's nothing wrong with that? Hold on. I must have didn't hear that question correctly.
That district attorney could voluntarily recuse himself.
That's correct.
What's wrong with that district attorney calling a non-conflicted prosecutor to say, can you please help out the police?
There's nothing wrong with that. That generally happens.
Cooper.
But you know what they're leaving out? That if you call that person, you can't have a son working in the person that you got the call from, working in their office. That's a conflict of interest. You're not calling somebody that, you know, like, come on now. But they leave that out in court.
Jones feels she should have known about the conflict sooner.
I mean, it would have been very helpful that in the midst of them passing the case around, that someone should have called to let me know what was going on.
Now, if I had to sum up most of today, it was really about establishing a timeline for the jury, establishing what a conflict of interest is, and establishing what a district attorney's role is. So beyond what you heard there really wasn't much of a deeper dive into Johnson's role in this case specifically.
Shut your lying ass up. Motherfucker, why you ain't play more of what she said? Y'all see how they play? It ain't just the court system, it's the news too. You telling me, you just told us all that shit? Man, stop. She told some shit.
So perhaps that's something that we'll hear as we move further and further into this trial. After all, today was just day one.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
If a man took testosterone.
I don't believe that shit at all. I know she probably was on that stand, but they probably did limit how much they actually asked her. You know.
In the trial of former Brunswick DA Jackie Johnson, she's charged with interfering in the police investigation of the 2020 murder of AHMAUD Arbery. No one was arrested in Arbery's killing until months later when cell phone video of the shooting began circulating online. Then GBI took over the case from local police. News4Jax reporter Alicia Hatcher has new insight from the courtroom, including a look at the new video jurors watched.
On Wednesday, the jury heard testimonies from several people, providing a timeline from AHMAUD Arbery's death to the arrest of the 3 people responsible for his death and the duties of a district attorney. Video was shown of police talking to the 2 men charged in the death of AHMAUD Arbery, with Glenn County Police investigator Roderick Nohely on the stand as the first witness. The video shows Nohely telling Travis McMichael he wasn't being arrested.
You're going home today, just so you know.
What? What? Since when does that happen? You going home today, just so you know. They don't even know if he's just gonna admit in a minute, you know what, man? I killed that man. I shouldn't have did that. He ain't had no gun. I've talked with the other, I've talked with the other investigators. Wow.
Nohely on the stand as the first.
So if he was the first witness, the dude that they passed off the case to was the second witness. Of course, the mother was the third witness. Then they have that fake-ass crime expert analyst as the fourth witness. Man, this whole shit was a kangaroo court. In my opinion.
Witness. The video shows Nohely telling Travis McMichael he wasn't being arrested.
You're going home today, just so you know. Okay, I've talked to the other investigators. We're, you know, it is what it is, right? You're not being charged with anything like that.
Greg McMichael, who had worked for Jackie Johnson, also was shown on video telling Nohely he tried to speak to her after the shooting.
I called Jackie and I left a message for us. Jackie, my son and I have been involved in the shooting. Call me as soon as you possibly can. Didn't hear back from her for a few minutes, so I called Bill Darius. I said, get in touch with Jackie, let her know what's happened. You know, I guess, although I'm not employed there any longer, I want, want her to know.
Prosecutors argue Johnson violated her oath, but the defense argues that she immediately recused herself and gave the case to a neighboring prosecutor.
So Jackie actually had a duty at that time, even though when she heard about it, to get the police some help. Is that true?
That's how I read it, yes, sir.
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with Jackie then calling the neighboring DA, George Barnhill, say, if police have some questions, I'm not going to be involved. Here's what I heard about it. True?
Correct.
Court will resume tomorrow where...
See, his good slick ass, he knew that as long as they don't know anything about, the son, then, you know, it really won't matter. Long as they don't know about the son working in that office, and I bet they had that suppressed, cause he good like that.
Several others will take the stand. For now, reporting in Brunswick, Alicia Hatcher, Channel 4, the local station.
Did you know that you can have permanent teeth in just 20?
District Attorney accused of obstructing the investigation into the murder of Ahmaud Arbery continued today, and Johnson herself took the stand. And during her testimony, she got emotional. Johnson's attorney asked her if she recalled Tuesday, May 5th, 2020, the day video was released to the public of Ahmaud Arbery being shot and killed. Johnson claims she immediately stepped away from the case because it involved a former employee who initiated the deadly pursuit and whose son fatally shot Arbery in the street. Now, prior to the release of the video on April 30th, Johnson was in communication with Gregory McMichael, who was convicted of murdering Arbery in 2020. And she told the jury during that time she wanted to make sure the case was handled correctly.
It's everything I had been told. That's what I believed, yes.
Watching that video, did you believe that Mr. Ahmaud Arbery is a perpetrator?
No, it looked like he was murdered to me.
Yesterday, the judge granted the defense's motion for directed verdict of acquittal for count 2 of Jackie Johnson's indictment. The court charged her with obstructing or hindering law enforcement. While count 2 is now dropped, Johnson, for now, is still charged with violating her oath. It's the more serious charge she faces, carrying the possibility of up to 5 years in prison.
Now to eye-opening testimony in the case of former Brunswick District Attorney Jackie Johnson. She's accused of interfering in the police investigation of Ahmaud Arbery's murder. But today, a police supervisor testified that Johnson never got in her way during the case. News4Jax reporter Alicia Hatcher has been following this trial the past several days.
So now the police supervisor says, oh, nah, she never got in my way. We just ain't want to arrest him. Wow. She never got in our way. She never, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all seen how nice the police was out there. Oh, you need some water?
And brings us key moments from today's testimony.
A hard blow hit prosecutors on Thursday as more witnesses took the stand for the case of District Attorney Jackie Johnson. Glenn County Police Assistant Chief Stephanie Oliver testified under cross-examination, denying that Johnson made any attempt to obstruct her while she was over the Ahmaud Arbery investigation.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury.
I never had any interaction with Miss Johnson during this case.
Oh, your ass fired anyway. DEI. You fucking fired.
Did Jackie Johnson in any way ever talk with you about any of the facts of this case?
No, sir.
Did Jackie Johnson in any way hinder you in your investigation of this case in any way?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge. Do y'all see what's going on here? These are the witnesses, y'all.
Did Jackie Johnson in any way stop you from the lawful discharge of your duties?
No, sir.
Did Jackie Johnson in any way direct you not to arrest Travis McMichael?
No, sir.
Prosecutors came back after lunch, placing one of Waycross's Judicial Circuit attorneys on the stand, where he discussed the conversation he had with Johnson after finding out about Arbery's death.
I told her what Miss Arbery had told me.
Y'all notice a pattern here. I'm just saying.
I don't know any details about it. I knew that she had already heard from somebody. I don't know how or any details of that. I discussed her that they thought it was a self-defense case, but they wanted somebody to look at it. I do recall giving her a brief synopsis of what Ms. Oliver told me. Very short phone calls.
The jury was later excused.
What the hell is going on here?
used to give the defense a chance to get the case thrown out altogether based on the pleadings.
None of the paragraphs in Article 1, Section 1, paragraph 30 that Ms. Johnson is indicted for, none of them apply to this case. Ms. Johnson could not violate this constitutional provision as charged by the grand jury, and even if she could, this is just like the Wisconsin. This is not enforceable. It creates no cause of action.
Man, fuck you, man, for being that goddamn good at your fucking job of this crooked ass system. Can y'all believe this shit?
I spoke with the head attorney for the family of Ahmaud.
He over here mad as a motherfucker because he, old boy, fucking up the bag.
Arbery after court to get his thoughts on the defense ask.
It was very intimidating listening to a very learned attorney and Brian Steele present the facts, but it was completely refuted by Mr. Fowler. I think the state did a great job and we'll come back and continue this trial.
Do you feel the judge will?
But that nigga defeated, like, god damn. But you gotta know, it don't matter how good you look in front of these niggas, but you just had to witness the big hand of Big Daddy government. This brother just got smacked, and all of the black community just got smacked by that hand. Y'all just see how they played it.
Will consider throwing it out?
No, well, I think the court has to consider throwing it out, but I don't think there's sufficient evidence for them actually to get rid of the case at this point.
The trial continues Friday as more testimonies are expected in the upcoming days. For now, reporting in Brunswick, Alicia Hatcher, Channel 4, the local station.
Want to hand off your taxes?
So this is kind of how it was going, you know. And then
now dismissed. A Glenn County judge. Jackie Johnson's case is now dismissed. A Glenn County judge threw out the felony indictment against the former district attorney.
Threw it out. Didn't let the jury make the decision. They said, oh, nah, let's get this shit up out of here. We don't need to let the people decide. I think we've heard enough. Throw it out. What y'all gonna do about it? We got the three. We got the three guys. What y'all gonna do about it? Gonna throw this out and she can run for office somewhere else. Y'all forget about it in 5 years. Y'all don't give a fuck that much. The McMichaels, that motherfucker was old anyway. And his son was dumb as fuck, so. And that Roddy motherfucker, we don't even know who that motherfucker is, but she more valuable than all of them motherfuckers. And the state showed that. Not Glenn County, the state. This is not a Brunswick thing. This is a state thing. It might be a global thing. I mean, a national thing. I ain't gonna say what part of a party she in, because I guess that don't matter if, you know, they not on a national stage. But I do know who appointed her to that position in Brunswick, to her position. She got appointed from the governor of Georgia, and that's Brian Kemp. She got a personal recommendation from the governor of Georgia to be at the top prosecutor in Brunswick when she came in 2010. And she's still protected by that person, in my opinion. The same Brian Kemp that did an election and was over counting the votes when he ran against Stacey Adams and claimed himself the winner after he was the one that was over the votes. Yeah. But, you know, nothing to see there.
She was accused of using her influence to protect the men who chased and killed Ahmaud Arbery. Johnson was Coastal Glenn County's top prosecutor when that deadly shooting happened nearly 5 years ago. The case was among those that sparked a national racial justice outcry in 2020.
And today, a Glenn County judge dismissed the 2021 indictment charging Johnson with violating her oath of office, citing technical errors with its wording.
Say what? Technical errors with its wordings. Not, hey, she was proven not guilty. Not enough evidence. Technical wording. This damn young thug lawyer, I guess we gonna know him always as a young thug lawyer, but that damn Michael Steele. But we just seen the power of a good attorney. We just seen the power of a good lawyer. I'm sorry. We just seen the power of a good lawyer. I don't know what the fuck does technical wording mean.
Right after court, Ahmaud Arbery's parents expressed their frustration with the judge's decision.
Hurt, devastating. You know, it's just bad. Our elected officials that hold that power like that don't be accountable for what they do wrong.
I'm in shock. The evidence was there, and I really thought that we were winning because she took the stand on yesterday. She told myself, the jury, everyone in the courtroom what really happened. And what happened this morning wasn't because she wasn't guilty. It was because of just case law.
Case law. And Brian Steele found a loophole. She was dead ass guilty and they found some case law. And the judge threw it out without letting the jury see it. The jury seen probably seen through all that bullshit.
Former DA Jackie Johnson has long denied influencing police who initially decided against making arrests when Arbery was shot and killed.
The judge's ruling today closes the book on criminal charges that loomed over Johnson for more than 3 years. News for Jack's anchor Tarek Miners here with more developments on the
3 years for them to try her for some damn misdemeanors. Just so they can let all the smoke clear, all the protesting, get it away from everything. Let Young Thug get away. Cause she would go get the same lawyers as Young Thug because she thought that shit was gonna take like 5 years. Man, boy, they clever with this, boy. I'm talking about this shit bigger than me. It's bigger than Nino Brown out here, y'all. Y'all gotta remember that. And it's only gonna get a little trickier.
ruling and reactions, Tarek.
Yeah, so after 5 days of testimony, the judge sided with the defense, throwing the case out. Arbery's parents maintaining their beliefs that Johnson tried to shield the men, they say, who killed their son, while close friends now of Jackie Johnson are coming to her defense.
Close friends. So here these jokers go in Brunswick.
Judge ruled appropriately. This was never a case to begin with. Should never been brought. She had not done anything wrong.
Damn, man. I was liking this nigga. Now I gotta have a bias. God damn. Man, he just did his job, man. Can't hate the player. You gotta hate the game. That man is a damn good lawyer. Them two motherfuckers are bad. They are fucking, you know, Johnny Cochran and the Kardashian daddy. Jeez Louise, man. And that's how the system's set up, though. It's set up. And they played it. They played it.
Jackie Johnson's legal team celebrating the abrupt end to a case that has lingered since 2021. The judge dismissing the indictment that charged former district attorney.
Dismissing the indictment altogether. And look at it, Judge.
Since 2021. The judge.
He ain't got no business on the damn bench.
Dismissing the indictment that charged former district attorney Jackie Johnson with violating her oath of office.
You know, this whole thing is predicated upon a really terrible tragedy, loss to the Arbery family, and unfortunately a prosecution of Miss Johnson that should never have happened.
I am so hurt.
I can't believe he had to say that, though. I don't know, man. He got to do his job, I guess. A prosecution that never should have happened?
I am hurt because of the way Ahmaud lost his life. And we fought so hard. We fought so hard for this.
The family of Ahmaud Arbery expressed deep pain over the ruling, recalling the grief they felt after his death.
Oh, hurt, devastating. You know, it's just bad. Our elected officials that hold that power like that don't be accountable for what they do wrong.
That today's ruling by the judge was not a ruling of innocence. It's an acquittal technical. This is all based on a technicality.
Johnson's lawyers argued that the 2021 indictment was flawed by technical errors and failed to establish any criminal conduct. Johnson had been accused of showing favoritism to Gregory McMichael, one of her former investigators. In February of 2020, McMichael, his son Travis, and neighbor William Roddy Bryan chased and fatally shot Ahmaud Arbery while he was jogging in their neighborhood. They weren't charged with the crime until this video was leaked to the media, revealing the young man was brutally murdered. News4Jax spoke with one of Johnson's lifelong friends who didn't want to be identified and insists on Johnson's innocence.
I'm excited. I'm just...
Hold on, what the fuck? You need to shut the fuck up then. You want a motherfucker try to hide and try to, yeah, I'm excited.
Find every...
Nah, I'm talking about a friend that don't want to be seen.
Didn't want to be identified and insists on Johnson's innocence.
I'm excited. I have prayed and prayed for this. I've known Jackie my whole life, and she has always loved the law, and no matter what, she has always said the law is the law. You go by the law, and nobody's above it, and nobody's under it.
Brunswick resident Kathy Cruz says she...
That's crazy.
Trusts the legal system.
I think we just have to let justice take its course. That's what we have a jury and everything for.
Jackie.
Ain't that some shit? Justice take its course. That's what we got a legal system for.
Johnson was voted out of office in November of 2020 and largely blamed her defeat on controversy over Arbery's killing. She left the courthouse today without speaking to reporters and has not announced if she's going to run for public office again. Joy?
Tarek, thank you. Jackie Johnson's trial in Glynn County, it happened at the same courthouse where Ahmaud Arbery's killers were convicted of murder in 2021. Let's take a look at this timeline. Father and son, Greg and Travis McMichael, armed themselves and chased Arbery in a pickup truck after seeing him run past their house on February 23rd of 2020. A neighbor, William Roddy Bryan on the end there, joined the pursuit in his own truck. He also recorded cell phone video of Travis McMichael, the father, shooting Arbery at close range with a shotgun, the son. The men told police they suspected Arbery was a burglar and argued that the shooting happened in self-defense. No one was arrested for more than 2 months until after cell phone video of the shooting leaked online in early May. And the Georgia Bureau of Investigation took the case over from local police. All 3 men were later convicted of murder and federal hate crimes. Right now on news4jax.com, you can find our extensive coverage on Jackie Johnson's trial. That includes testimony from inside the Glynn County courtroom. You can also find our previous coverage surrounding the 2020 murder investigation of Ahmaud Arbery.
And, you know, that's how that case ended up going, man. Technical wording. Got away with technical wording. And I mean, what do you do? What do you do when they're in control of it all? And I mean, they played the system perfectly right there. But I just wanted to do a good breakdown of that. What she really is getting away with, in my opinion, is a cycle of the same continued behavior. Because like I said, there's multiple people that's not got justice for their loved ones because of this woman. And I'm not gonna say she's the killer, but damn, but if she fucks with you, you ain't going to jail. So I think that might be more appealing. I think that might be more appealing to a lot of these DA, district attorney offices than anything, because they want a motherfucker that's not gonna tell on everybody, that's gonna protect their officers. A lot of these, you know, legal systems. So I don't think she's gonna have a hard time trying to find another job. Cause she's not that old. She can, you know, she can hold off about, you know, she can lay low for another 5-10 years and pop up as somebody else's district attorney in a town near you. In a town near you. Now that she got this out the way. It could definitely be your town next. Because just like cops, when they are not held accountable, what stopped them from doing what they did the first time? If you put her behind a police force, if you have cops that may be a little wild, or, you know, kind of like the Red Dogs, or those cops that was in Memphis and did what they did, and you have people like this that protect them, and then you have the bigger power of the state of Georgia that'll protect them. But this is definitely a good old boy system. And this is just in Georgia, though, so I don't know where y'all live at, but this has been the terrorist of Brunswick, Georgia. Not just because of Ahmaud Arbery, but the young white lady that lost her life. That officer, he should have been punished. But she protected him, let him out on the street several times. He ended up taking the life of himself along with his ex-wife and her boyfriend. Then my friend ended up losing his life to a police officer. We never got to see the body cam footage. Never was even investigation or a trial or anything. Never seen the gun that so-called he had, or just let us see the body cam footage. Oh, it was off all of a sudden. But a lot of police shootings, all of them been innocent if she's in control of who getting arrested. And then we seen on camera that man called her first, and then she passed it off to a guy that has her son working in her office. And he didn't even do an investigation of it. Yeah, there was a conflict of interest. But why would there not be an arrest for a murder if somebody's saying it's in self-defense, but the person does not have a gun? And they had the evidence of this video before we did. So how is it, and that's something that it seemed like they didn't bring up in court. How is it that you had this video the whole time and you didn't do anything? You tried to say that this wasn't a crime? And why wasn't the other guy prosecuted for sitting there looking at a video like that and saying, oh, this is not a crime, in my opinion. Because you know it is. It's on video. So, I mean, but, hey, this is Georgia. This is America. And, you know, like I say, it ain't all about just the black people here. Like I said, a white woman lost her life, too. So, you know, it's just reckless behavior like that would definitely continue a cycle. But anyway, man, I'll catch y'all a little bit later. I might do another live stream or whatever. I got another live that I want to talk about, so I'll catch y'all on another time whenever I feel like coming back on. Y'all just look for the notification. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button on the way out. And you can catch the replay. I'm going to get up out of here. Salute to the chat. Salute to all the mods.
I'm always 10 toes down from the winter to the summer. Head coach of my team, I'm like a trap Tony Dungeon. My swag go ham, y'all swag so baloney. You looking for a fight, well bitch, I'm ready for a rumble. I'm one of niggas, I am not the one that I'm humble. I'm known to let them cave rip, teach a nigga about that thunder.
Hold up, little daddy, if you call me, you on my time. No need for discussion, I ain't rushing, let me serve mine. Already flying, like my whip done grew wings on it. Got that solid D like 3 NFL teams on it. Heater on me like the middle of December. Finna find a low number G grind all winter. I'm cooking dinners and I ain't talking about soul food. And get your man to holler, serve who, bitch, I don't know you. Street smart, you know I study these streets, but get real ignorant when I'm fucking over niggas' beats. We athletes fuck around and get rolled over. Miami Heat to push a front line like a bulldozer. Yeah, nigga, respect me, call me general. Playing what you chillin' do. My heart like a igloo. My game Gensu, I go and pull a Carmen Diaz. Some big shit, homeboy like an elephant ass. Yeah, and I'm the gas in your auto. And I don't need luck, you rub the wood on the Apollo. You think about competing, make it hard for you to swallow my amigo like a pasta. You can get it when you're out. The lady up and yada by the way she bust it open. Got me feeling like the man. I leave that pussy smoke. A nigga coasting, pockets on cruise control. And GA 95 with a load of blow.
I'm always 10 toes down from the winter to the